What if building an AI agent were as simple as texting a friend? This week on The Next Wave, I sit down with Flo Crivello, founder and CEO of Lindy, the AI agent company everyone in Silicon Valley is watching. After a year in the lab, Lindy is unveiling Lindy 3.0, and Flo is ready to show us why it could change how we work. We demo agents that run your CRM, QA your product, book groceries, block spammers, and scout competitors, all through natural language. Imagine if every employee at your company had an army of AI interns. That's actually possible today. Before we get started, we spent a lot of time working on these episodes and getting on the best guests possible to help make sure that you're prepared for the age of AI. But most of you who listen aren't subscribed. So if you can, please take a moment and subscribe. You just click the little button. Now, let's dive in with Flo Crivello. Hey, Flo. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, Nathan. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think yesterday you showed me 2 demos of new things that you're building at Lindy, which I was just blown away by. And I'm like, okay, this is perfect for our audience, and everyone's going to get a ton of value out of both of these. I don't know if you're calling them features or the new products, but maybe you can just kind of explain, and then we can just show people and jump right in.
Yeah, it's a revamp of the app, really. Like, we've been working on it for like 6 or 9 months at this point, like the entire team. It's we call it like Lindy 3.0. So it's basically an entire rewrite of the app. And what it consists of is like the long-term vision of what we want to do is build an AI employee. And we are driving towards maximal capability and maximal ease of use. It should be able to do anything that anyone can do on a computer, right? Like by contrast, like in today, like in order to build agents, like you either have to code or like even like no-code tools like Lindy. It's sort of a pain in the ass. Like you have to like, it's a no-code tool, but you have to like drag and drop. Like you need to have like a technical mindset. And the capabilities, like we've always been bottlenecked by integrations. Like we made like a big announcement like 6 months ago. We released like 6,000 integrations at once, and we were like, that's it. Like we will never need integrations again. And it turns out like we are always blocked by integrations, and that's why Anthropic is doing MCP, right? It's like, we're gonna build this like universal protocol, but it's never gonna be enough. And so what we're releasing with 3.0 is we are releasing an agent builder. So you can just talk to it. It's just a prompt, and you have a back and forth conversation, and it just builds the agent for you. It's actually really cool because the agent builder is built with Lindy. So cool. It's like we don't even have an admin tool to build the agent builder. We just use Lindy ourselves, and that's the Lindy. And then we have computer use. So the agent builder takes care of the usability, ease of use part of the house, and computer use takes care of the capability side of the house. So it's like the final integration, basically. Like it can just see your computer and use it,
right?
And it works. It's shocking. It works.
That's
like
crazy.
That's
yeah, we should show people. But you talk to Lindy, and like if I want an agent for whatever, check in my email or check in websites or whatever I want it to do, you just talk to it, and you kind of then it creates the first version or something. Then you probably can go in there and tweak it, I would assume. And
that's what it is. It's like I have created an agent to manage my personal CRM. And it's literally just like, help me manage my personal CRM. And it's like, okay, I'm going to create an agent. This is what it does. If you want to add to your CRM, if you want to retrieve from your CRM, and let me just create the agent for you. And that's what it created, like first shot.
Wow.
And right, in actuality, and this is why I want to show video, I want to be real with people. Like, know, if people who have like experience with like Lovable or these like vibe coding applications, they know that like, this actually takes like 1 or 2 minutes. So it makes for like a pretty boring demo because like we're just going to like sit for like a minute looking at it.
Right.
But it creates this agent. And then I can be like, okay, who are AI founders I know? And I pre-populated like this like fake CRM, like a bunch of like fake names. But it's like, hey, these are the people you know. Or I can go like, hey, add John Doe to my CRM. He's the founder of Acme Corp. And it adds a row to my Google Sheets.
So right now, is this mainly with Google Sheets? Like in theory, could you guys add, connections to HubSpot or other CRMs in the future, or how does that work?
We do have connections to HubSpot. It's actually like the most used CRM on the platform.
Good to hear.
No, 100%. So you can just use any connection you want. Like that's what like the 6,000 connectors that we built are still going to be useful for.
Awesome. And for anyone listening, like what do you think? Have you guys had people testing this, like other people yet, outside of Lindy? And like, what are the main use cases that people are using it for?
Oh, yeah. No, it's been live for like, we've been in private beta for like weeks at this point, like maybe even months. The main use cases are, I think, like CRM management is a really, really big one. Like go-to-market applications are like a really big one. So it's like SDR workflows, account executive workflows, like marketing and like content production workflow. Like I can give you an example. This is the new design of the app. I'm in love with it. I think it looks gorgeous. But I can give you an example of like super simple example. Like find me 10 software engineers working at Zapier. And right here, it's like I found 10 software engineers. I just like a previous task where like I did the same. It's like, boom, these are the names. And I can just click. And these are like actual people who work at Zapier.
Oh, that's amazing. Now can it go, so like, could it go the next step and help you contact those people, or could it not do that?
It will be able to do that. Like this one path I just took where like it goes through like the, this like main text box. Like right now it cannot connect to your personal accounts just yet. So like this is like an unauthenticated action, like the prospecting action. But like the Gmail action is going to be authenticated, and we're going to release that in a couple of weeks.
Awesome. So with a computer use, like, so could it just like go use your computer eventually and use LinkedIn? And like, and how is LinkedIn ever going to deal with stuff like that? It seems like at some point that's going to be crazy.
That is another really big use case. So I can go like reach out to, I can go Flo Crivello, who works at Lindy on LinkedIn. And it is going to reach out. I actually think for this one, we also have an action. I'm not 100% sure. Or it's going to use computer use. Right here. So it has found the LinkedIn, and now it is starting a computer. And so again, like this is an example of computer use. Like while it's booting, I can like show this other demo. It's getting very meta because now we're using Lindy as a QA engineer for Lindy. So we have created this agent that, like, you can see it's super simple. It's like, okay, every hour you start a computer, you log into Lindy, we've given it credentials, you create an agent, you test the agent, and then if it failed, you send a message to the on-call channel on Slack. And right here, just logs in. Like this is all completely automated. Like this is the agent that logs in and does the credential, creates an agent, and end-to-end, like creates an agent from scratch. It's like a pretty simple agent at first. It's like an agent that like sends and receives messages. It tests it, like, hello, can you hear me? So this is an agent talking to an agent, and it works.
Wow, that's amazing.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention, I feel like at this point it's a tradition. Every time anyone talks about computer use agents, like they talk about grocery and like flight booking, you know?
Is that what this does? Does it do anything else?
I do have an agent that does that for me. So you can see, every week it wakes up, it pulls, maybe this is TMI, like this is my grocery list on DoorDash. It's pretty tame stuff. It's like cucumber, Brussels sprouts, all of that stuff. And then you see it just goes on DoorDash and it's searching for everything. So it's like looking for Brussels sprouts, adding them to the cart, like same for like steak, salmon, all of that stuff. And then in the end, it just orders. And I received the groceries. Like this is how I do my groceries now.
And can you set up like a timer where it does it automatically and you don't have to do anything? Or do you have to kind of like approve it every time? Or like what's the steps there?
That is how it is set up right now. I'll actually switch to the Flow editor. So every Friday at 5 p.m., it's like an end of week thing. I've actually changed it. So now it sends me an email to me and my girlfriend. And it's like, hey, this is the grocery list. Do you guys want to add or remove anything? And then it waits 700 minutes. That's an interesting one. It's like 10 hours or something. I don't know why I did that. So it's like, it waits like 10 hours basically. And the morning after, it like, if we don't reply, it just assumes that like the grocery list is good, and then it does the grocery for us. And when it's done, it sends another email to say it did it.
That is crazy. I'm gonna set this up.
Another one. This one is like so simple, and it was also created with Agent Builder. I'll actually show you. You can see the prompt was people ask me like, "How did you create this agent?" I'm like, with Agent Builder, it's literally just you talk to it, and literally it's like, I have a bunch of spammers in my mentions on Twitter. I want you to create an agent that wakes up every 3 hours and blocks them. That's it. It just wakes up. I changed it to every 12 hours because I'm not spammed that much, but like 12 hours is good. And then goes to my mentions, finds like this guy. I met a blogger who releases awesome analysis, like releases stock information every day. He is very good and deserves our attention. Rainbow emoji. It's like, boom, blocked. And so I no longer have spammers on Twitter. It's just like, I have
that's
this
great.
thing that like blocks them for me. It's amazing.
You know, I have this account on Twitter. I have the name Learn on Twitter, and I'm not really using it right now, but occasionally I check it, and like it gets tagged by I don't know, hundreds of people a day who are like just talking about random stuff, and then tag at Learn for some reason.
Right.
I would love to use this and just block all of them.
I mean, now it's literally you can just prompt it, just ask it to do it, and it'll do it for you.
How does it turn who's a spammer? Like would it possibly like block people they shouldn't who were like just like leaving a comment underneath, and it was just kind of like a generic comment like LFG or something like that, or
No, so it happened once. Like I prompted it to like the AI grifters, like old people who are like, it's completely over, OpenAI released the thing, like nothing will be the same again. And it started blocking them. And I'm like, hey, don't block. I was like, don't block mentions of AI grifters.
Hey, I put out one of those like every month or two. So, I mean, hopefully you didn't block me. You got to feed the algorithm occasionally,
Yeah, they look spammy, but they're harmless. So look, I've just prompted it. And I'm like, hey, like those are examples of spam mail. Yeah.
It's awesome. Okay, let's be honest. Your AI prompts aren't giving you the results you deserve. But with a little coaching, you can transform from basic prompts to engineering conversations that get you exactly what you want from ChatGPT. That's what this playbook delivers. Not just random prompts, but a step-by-step system with the exact techniques top AI professionals use every day. You'll have your own personalized prompt engineering system that delivers consistent results. Get it right now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description below. Now let's get back to the show. How are you, like the new version of Lindy, Lindy 3.0, like what's the main way you're using it?
We're using it a lot for, the QA stuff is awesome. Like it's basically replaced the QA engineer for us. Like this is the kind of thing we would have paid $180,000 a year before, and now it's just an agent. Prospecting is another awesome one. We have built an agent that goes on LinkedIn and finds the posts. There's a lot of posts that are like, I have built this awesome agent, like comment agent to get it in your DMs and all of that stuff. And so we call it like comment farming. Like when people do that, we can see who's commenting agent. And so we can reach out to them by DMs as well. And we can be like, hey, like reach out to the person. And we actually reach out to them in a personalized fashion. So like Lindy goes on LinkedIn and clicks and like looks at the profile and then sends them a message just like, hey, like we saw you commented agent. Do you want to learn more about different agents that we could deploy for you?
Are you doing tactics like that to like see who's following your competitors and things like that and then interacting with them?
We do have an agent for competitors snooping, absolutely. And that's the kind of thing, I think that's like the beauty of AI agents. I think people underestimate the extent to which they're like, oh my God, I'm going to be able to save money because I can replace stuff that humans used to do. But actually what you can do is that you can ask these AI agents to go much deeper than humans did. So for example, the competitor analysis agent. It is kind of shocking how open salespeople are sometimes about numbers on their LinkedIn. Because I guess the numbers are like all their resumes, right? But like they can say, hey,
it's a bragging rights
Yeah, I have closed like $4 million of revenue in 1 year, as of like one of 3 reps, or like I have closed like ACV, $300,000 average contract value and whatnot. And I'm like, this is interesting. And I couldn't ask a human on my team. I would never ask a human on my team to like every month go and open the LinkedIn profiles of every single salesperson of every single one of my competitors and see what they've posted and all of that stuff.
The kind of person who you would ask to do that would probably be like a lower, not to like, say anything bad about people, but be like a lower level employee who would do something like that. And then maybe they'd make more mistakes and whatnot. If you did have someone do that.
That's right. So with AI agents, I feel no shame. I can ask you to do this thing. And it's like an analysis that would have taken a human. I go so deep, like this would have taken a human like 2 or 3 full days. Like I'm never going to spend 2 or 3 full days doing competitor analysis as a startup. I can do it with agents. So, content production, we are in the process of rolling out an agent. This one is really good. It's a combination, so agents can work together. So there is one agent that's like a content strategist, and there is one agent that's a content producer. So the content strategist comes up with a bunch of ideas of videos, okay? And then it farms them out to a bunch of content producers. The content producer produces the content on VO3 and then posts it on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. And then, after it posted it, a week later, it wakes back up, it looks at the videos it posted, and it's like, okay, how did they do, both in terms of views and in terms of comments, like what did people like? And it reports the findings back to the content strategist, which then uses these learnings to plan the next batch of content. Like, I'm sorry, but like, we've been working on this for like 2.5 years. Like, to me, like the fact that I can describe this workflow with a straight face just blows my mind. Yeah. Like, it's insane.
And it's crazy, like all this kind of stuff. Like even me, like, I know how amazing it is, but I have to like try to like, almost like have like a beginner's mindset to like remember like how amazing all this is. You told me like 3 years ago, it's like, what the hell are you talking about? There's no, that's crazy. Especially like 5 years ago, I would have no idea that something like this was going to be possible. But now it's like every time I have a new guest on, they tell me something that's insane.
I agree. We feel this quite a bit in the office. Like we were at the office last night at like 10 p.m. and we were like whiteboarding like the plan. Basically, it's like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna ship that,
Lindy
then like
4.
we're gonna work on that. And then and then we're like, and then 12 months from now, we're gonna have like basically something that approaches AGI, right? Like approaches an AI employee, you can just talk to it and it does it. And I'm like, guys, like how insane is that? And like we just talk, it's the plan. Like it's not like a sci-fi book. It's like, no, it's the roadmap, right?
Right. I mean, since the last time we talked, this already seems like half the way there compared to what you showed me last time. You've already made the fact that you can literally just talk to the AI and it helps you kind of create the agent versus you having to go manually set everything up or use a template or whatever. That's a huge step forward.
Yes. I mean, and this is us, right? Like this is the application layer. Then there is the model layer. Like imagine what's happening right now inside the labs. Like I find it kind of strange that the labs basically right now are doing victory laps. Like they are saying we've got super intelligence is coming, guys. Like we're in the takeoff right now. We've basically got AGI and now we're like on our way to ASI. It's weird.
and most people are just like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. We'll do tonight.
No biggie,
Yeah. Which is why, like, I'm in these group chats, and there was this conversation the other day. I'm like in all of these AI group chats, and there was this one with like a bunch of founders, and they were bemoaning the frenzy around AI these days. They were like, I'm so tired of it, and I totally get it. It's like, I'm so tired of it. There's so much like grandiloquence to just like so much hucksterism, so many people just like promising the moon and all of that stuff. And I'm like, look, there's always going to be hucksters, but I believe that AI is actually underhyped. And I'm saying that knowing full well how hyped it is. I'm like, guys, like brace yourselves, because if you're tired of it now, like this is only the beginning. Like it's going to get wild out there.
I agree. I actually have a presentation right now that starts with AI is underhyped.
Massively underhyped. To me, it's kind of like if you're like in the early 2000s, and there was like the dot-com bubble, and you're like, I'm so tired of the internet.
Internet's
like
stupid.
Everyone's talking about the internet.
Can't
wait for it to be over. All the hucksters talking about the internet. Can't wait for it to blow over. I'm like, no.
And I knew it was a scam. Look, they crashed. Right. The internet's done. It was all BS.
Exactly.
And then the entire world changed, and people can't realize that AI has, in my opinion, has the potential to be way more impactful than the internet. I mean, you're talking about intelligence, you're talking about powering robots, you're talking about, it's so much bigger than the internet. And then most people, I think the average person right now, a lot of them would be comparing this to like, just like crypto or something. Like they think it's just like, okay, it's another new thing. And it's like, they're not getting the paradigm shift that's happening right now, like for all of humanity.
I think some people compare it to the internet. Some people compare it to like the automobile or like the electricity. Like some people compare it to like the wheel or fire. Like again, I'm going to be one of these like grandiloquent hucksters, but I think I compare it to life. I compare it to like the birth of life on Earth.
Yeah.
I think it's a new life form basically, and I think it's going to be that deeply transformative.
I agree. I say electricity because I feel like people can slightly comprehend what I'm saying, but like, and maybe they think it's like exaggeration. But I agree. Like this is, we're creating a form of life here. Anyways, it feels weird sometimes. I saw somebody posting about this the other day where they're talking about like how it feels like way less than 1% of people get what's happening right now, and it's just an odd time to be alive and understand what's happening. And I used to kind of like, I kind of find it funny now, I guess. Just like all this is happening and most people just think this is like a cool chatbot or something.
Do you ever feel like vertigo? Like, do you yourself like feel overwhelmed and you're like, this is wild? Like,
oh yeah, totally. Especially because right now with AI, I'm like, juggling four different little businesses. They're all cash flowing and getting involved in more things, and AI is just enabling that. Where in the past, there's no way I would have been able to have done that. And now you're showing me this. I'm like, oh, maybe I could be doing more.
Yeah.
Right. And with my personality, it's like, why not do more? Of course I'll do more.
Yeah, I feel like that's a common journey that people are going through, and like at first they're ignorant, and then they find out about it, and like they're skeptical, then they're really excited, then they get so excited that if anything it gives them vertigo. They're like, this is insane, like this is way bigger than anyone is realizing. And then I feel like the final stage is almost one of denial. It's like once you get past the point of vertigo, like some people like hang out there for like a while. I certainly was there for like a very long time, and I feel like at some point it turns almost into a shrug. It's like, yep, I guess it's coming. It's like, I don't know what else to do or say about it. I guess I'm just going to keep living my life in a normal way until it happens.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, we had this conversation last time. I think it ended kind of slightly on a dark note. I am more on the optimistic side of where this all goes. So for me, maybe it's a little bit different than you. Like I think you're kind of a bit more worried about where the technology goes. And not to say that I'm not worried at all, but I'm definitely more optimistic. So for me, I'm definitely on the side of let's accelerate this as fast as possible. And for me, the main thing is, making sure that the U.S. and its allies win at this, right? That's like my overall goal in life right now. Is like, I've been trying to think like, what can I possibly do in my life that's actually important? Any small little thing I can do to make sure that countries that care about freedoms and civil rights actually win at this, and that's what spreads around the world. That's what's important to do, especially since I'm not Sam Altman or Elon Musk or anyone who's going to contribute to a foundational model.
Yeah. But, and look, like for the record, like I am 90% optimistic. I think there's a 90% chance that everything goes well. I'm just saying, like, even if it's 10% chance of literal extinction, like that's very high. That's much too high for comfort. But look, even if things go well, I think like to some extent, there is a degree of like instinctual mammal reaction where it's like change is scary. I think it's just like we currently live in the Middle Ages and we're going to be catapulted into the year 3000, right? And it's gonna be weird and fast and overwhelming. Yeah,
totally. I mean, it's actually I was having this conversation with my mom the other day, or maybe like a few weeks back, and if I talked to her like 20 years ago, there's no way she would imagine that she'd be like on YouTube all the time.
Right.
And checking all these websites all the time. I mean, like life for like people all ages has already like dramatically changed, like dramatically over the last 20 years, especially the last like 5 to 10. And it is amazing that we just adapt. So it feels like, we are going to be catapulted into this crazy new future. And I think people are just going to get used to things over and over. It's going to be
You're right. You're right. I think, you're totally right, actually. Humans are very adaptable. And it is true that like we've gone through many waves of dramatic change. Like if you think of COVID, right? It was like, all right, I guess that's life now, We just get used to whatever is going on, like almost alarmingly quickly.
Yep, definitely. So we probably, one other thing I've been thinking about too is like to get back more on talking about like some material things for people who are listening, like business owners and things like that who are listening. One thing that's really crazy right now is like, it feels like the landscape is getting really hard to predict where anything is going with companies. Like I've seen like Perplexity announced comments. So they've got a browser now. And I feel like, okay, well, maybe the browser is going to touch, it's like almost like a new operating system in a way with AI. It's going to touch everything. You guys are like interacting with CRM now. HubSpot's connecting to Claude the MCP. Claude announced today, or maybe today or yesterday, that they're going to be, doing emails and managing your contacts. It's like, it feels like almost all of the different companies are like stepping on each other's toes in one way or another. And I think in the past, it feels like, Google's doing this and you can kind of predict what they're going to do next. And it feels like all the major companies are all are all fighting for, things that have a lot of overlap right now.
No, I've thought a lot about it. And there is one friend that I argue with all the time about this because, look, if it is true that code production is going to basically be free, if it is true that you're going to be able to build any product you want in one prompt, like there's a very big if here, right? But if you really believe that you can build something even perhaps as complex as like a CRM in the limit, right? Or like an email client with just a prompt, then it is true that like the last moat left and the last barrier to entry is distribution. I think it really means that like production of and product is going to basically be worth zero. And I think we're going to have these like immense conglomerates of mega apps, and the kind of conglomerate that like so far right now there's like two mega apps. There's like the Google ecosystem and like the Microsoft ecosystem, right? Like the Office suite, like those are the two players, right? Like they give you email, they give you documents, they give you directory, they give you like file system, all of that stuff, right? Like team collaboration, all of that stuff, right? It's telling that the only two companies that have been able to pull this off are today like $2 or $3 trillion companies. It's just really hard to build that much product,
right.
And I think like Salesforce has been trying to be this mega app as well, but they're doing it in a different fashion. They're acquired Quip for like the Office suites, they acquired Slack for like the collaboration and all of that stuff. I think it is likely that we start to see more mega apps now because product is going to be less of a differentiator and less of an obstacle. And as a result, I do think that it is likely that the intensity of competition increases dramatically over the next few years.
How do you think about that when you, I'm not sure if you talk about it, you do angel invest in some startups, correct?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah. How do you think about that right now? Because I recently invested in I'm not going to say the name, but like a startup that's doing kind of a mixture between like using AI for email and CRM. And then I see what you're doing. I see what HubSpot doing. I see what Clyde just announced. I'm like, okay, yeah. So maybe they already have like 10 competitors. I thought they had like one.
Yeah.
How are you thinking about that with your angel investing?
I don't. I think like one of the advantages of being an angel investor instead of a VC is that you get to be delightfully undisciplined about your investments. Like you get to do like vibe-based investments.
Oh, this is a smart guy. I like him, and I like the,
Totally. I think I'm also like a product guy. I'm like, that makes total sense. This is rad. Like, look, I was one of the first checks in Lovable. I was like, fuck yeah, I can type this thing and get a website. Fuck yeah, that sounds great. Take my money.
I should have. Anton was messaging me, and I was busy, and I actually wasn't right. I started writing checks of like maybe like 3 or 4 months after that. Actually, my first angel checks, and I was just like, and I messaged him later. I was like, oh, I'm so busy. I'll check it out sometime, and just like never checked it out.
And every so often, I actually met recently a VC, and this is my point about angels getting to be undisciplined. I met a VC who passed on them, and they told me, we couldn't get to a point of view on like the future of the category and who's going to be the winner and what's going to be the moat. And I'm like, I totally get it. I get things from like their point of view because they signed like huge checks, And I'm so glad I'm not in their shoes. I'm like, the vibes were great. I love the product. I love the guy. I just put the check in.
Yeah, and he was hustling on Twitter like super hard back then. So I think just from that alone, that it would make a ton of sense to invest. Because like I remember he was putting out tons of videos like, oh yeah, I'm building this with it, and I think it was even called Lovable at that point. He was calling it something else early on.
Engineer, AI engineers, a GPT engineer, or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So I try to not overthink my angel investing,
just
and it's working out so far. Yeah, exactly. The midweight curve. I think that's kind of that. Like invest in good people and good products, and everything's gonna work out.
Right, makes sense. Cool. We probably should end with like some key takeaways of like how can people, anyone who's listening to this right now, when can they try the new Lindy, and then what would you tell people? Like, what are they gonna be able to do with this that maybe they couldn't do before?
Yeah. Try it now. You go to lindy.ai, there's a big text box, and you type what you want in there, and it's going to do it for you. I think, again, that's the beauty of it. It's like AI agents are no longer like a cool thing that like you see a lot of people hype about on Twitter. It's like, no, it's here. You got a text box, you type something, you get it. It's that simple. What people are going to be able to do with it, like think of it as a really smart, really cheap, really fast intern. And you have infinite interns now. And so like that's my point about like the competitive analysis is like I have infinite interns, and imagine I have like a full-time intern doing like insane competitive analysis. That's what they're doing. Anything that you find yourself doing more than twice, it's like, basically any task can now take you about 5 minutes to automate fully end to end. And so if you're going to spend more than 5 minutes doing this task over the next month, just create an agent for it. And basically, if you do it well, over time, your job should consist more and more of just operating your agents, just orchestrating your entire agent ecosystem.
Inside of an org, who do you think are the main people who'd use Lindy? And And do you think you should have someone who like kind of manages all the agents, or like everybody, now that it's simple, everyone should just learn how to do it on their own for whatever role they have?
I think it's both. Like we do see companies, there tends to be a champion inside the company. Like every company has got the AI guy, right? So like that's really helpful to have. Yes, you should have that person that creates a bunch of AI agents. But again, if you fully embrace, which we do, like if you fully embrace the vision of the AI employee, should every employee report up to the same person inside the company? I don't think so. I think you really want everyone in your company to turn down. Basically, everybody got a promotion. Everybody is now. Everybody's
you're
now,
a manager of like an unlimited amount of interns.
That's right.
The more creative you can be, the more productive you can be. You can make more and more of them. Yeah,
that's right. And I think insofar as you have a centralized person, that person's job should be to facilitate this transformation inside the company. I really view it as it's the same thing as digital transformations. Like we're moving from like pen and paper and faxes to computers, and from computers on-prem to cloud. Like it's the same thing. It's like you're moving from like humans to like an AI-first company, and you expect everyone to pitch in and everyone to turn themselves into these managers of AI agents. And so you sort of need like a little bit of, you need someone to like constantly be like a wind in the backs of people, because otherwise the status quo is going to win and people are going to get stuck in their habits. But yeah, no, I think like the functions, I think again, go to market, I think prospecting is a really big use case. Like SDR, account executives, like coaching people is a really big use case. Like we've got AI agents now sitting in every meeting in the company, and like they report on meetings, they coach people who are in meetings. Engineers, like it's really useful for like code reviews, for like QA as well, to like test your application. For recruiting, it's really helpful. Like it's basically a form of sales recruiting. For accounting, it's more and more helpful. For like any like sort of like batch document processing, like we've got a company that receives a lot of invoices, and like they have an agent. It uses computer use because it uses QuickBooks, and the QuickBooks API is not good. I don't know if anyone from QuickBooks is listening to us, but like the API is bad, and so we were never able to make it work. And so we're just going through the back door, and we're using computer use, and it just receives invoices by emails, looks at like the invoice number, all of that stuff, finds the vendor on QuickBooks, like enters all of the information. Again, it's a really smart intern.
I was sitting there thinking about like what this is going to do to performance reviews. Like, okay, I've successfully set up 10 Lindys, and someone comparing it to someone else. Oh, this person's got 30 Lindys going, and they're all like producing results. That being like how you judge how well an employee is doing based on how many, Lindys they're properly, have set up and operating.
You are kidding, but we have one employee, and like they're killing it. They're just like absolutely, everyone's like, oh my God, like they're the GOAT. I don't know how they do it. And we, as a user of Lindy, you receive an email at the end of every week that's like, Lindy saved you X hours this week. And this employee shared a screenshot of their report, and their report goes like, Lindy saved you like the equivalent of 40 full-time employees this week. It's like 2,000 hours. It's like, oh my God, that's how you do it. Like we basically have like a whole different org inside the company that we didn't even know about. So like this person just got like a whole org of like 40 agents working for them. It's actually much more than 40 agents, like thousands of agents. It's like the equivalent of 40 full-time employees worth of work.
Yeah, and it's kind of wild. Like, then do you pay them a lot more money because of that, or like the company owns the setup of the agents? So it's kind of complicated, right?
The company does own the agents, so don't give them ideas.
Just be like, I want you. I'm saving you 40 times money. Give me 10 times more money. No,
it's also costing us a pretty penny. Employees at Lindy have like unlimited Lindy credits, but like it's very expensive. Actually, the tokens are so expensive, and so our own Lindy bill is outrageous. And we're very happy to do it because, like, in the end, our overall burn, like, compared to how fast we're growing, is actually really slow, really small. And that's because, like, I actually think we spend almost as much in tokens as we do in humans.
Wow. Is most of that money going to Anthropic or OpenAI or?
Anthropic is the default model today, and yes, most of it is going to Anthropic.
Jeez, should have invested in them.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's been great having you on here. I think this has been a useful episode for people, and there's like anyone who's listening, they should check out Lindy and try it out.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, thanks for having me, Nathan.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you.